Hey guys, my name is Dylan and welcome to a new video. Threadlings. They're strong. Like, really strong. And I wanted to know just how far we could push that. I wanted to see if I could beat the entire Lightfall campaign on its Become Legend difficulty only using sources of Threadlings. This means no guns and no powered melees. For the sake of this video, we're going to be using only the Threadling Grenade, casting our Rift with Weaver's Call Aspect, and Needlestorm since that also creates Threadlings. So let's load up the Lightfall campaign to figure out, can I beat the Lightfall campaign on Legend with only Threadlings? Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Recording this video alone took a little over 17 hours, so if you appreciate the effort and you're entertained, consider liking the video and subscribing to see more content like this. If not, always look out for our videos with the purple borders. Enough blabbering, onto the video. So first things first, obviously we have to have a good build that goes with this, so I wanted to focus on high recovery, high resilience, and high discipline, because we're going to be using a lot of rifts and a lot of grenades, as those being really our only sources of Threadlings. So obviously it's going to be a lot of throwing a grenade or casting a rift, and we're just going to have to wait for those abilities to come back. So it's going to be a lot of dancing around the enemy and just trying to stay alive until we can get our abilities back. And so for... Oh. A door. Okay. These doors are going to be the death of me, so let's do just some quick math really quick. So I found out that these little grated doors have about 1,500 health, maybe even a little bit closer to 1,600 health, and if you can see, when I'm throwing my Threadling Grenade at or I'm casting my Rift, each Threadling is doing about 26 damage. That is, of course, assuming that all those Threadlings hit, which doesn't happen all the time. But assuming that the ones hit that I want them to hit are hitting, that's going to be a little bit over 100 damage per time. So, I have to cast my Rift and throw a grenade at least 15 times in order to break this damn door. Which, if it takes me about a minute to a minute and I have to get my abilities back, I have to wait about 15 to 20 minutes just to get through the opening door. Anyways, after about 20 minutes, we finally get through the door. Now we can finally make our way to the rest of the mission, get on with our lives, and maybe even start to finally fight an enemy to actually find out if this is going to be possible. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. After yet another 20 minutes or so, we have finally busted through the second grate, and we are now making our way to the rest of the mission. I swear if I see another grate, I'm going to lose my mind. Okay. Now, the name of the game here is just waiting. It's a lot of waiting for our abilities to come back because we have no other way to do damage, so you're going to wait with me. I think you're starting to understand why this took about 17 hours to record. It's just waiting. Lots of waiting. Lots of waiting. So I'm going to very heavily edit this video. I'm not going to show you guys every single little time that I wait for my Threadlings and my abilities to come back, because that would be too much. But you get the idea, right? Throw a Threadling Grenade, cast a Rift, hide, sort of thing. So basically, I'm just going to cut to the parts of this campaign that I found that were interesting or challenging or whatever we had to do. But you can see here it's a lot of hiding, a lot of dancing around the enemy, just waiting for our abilities to come back so that we can kill them. And that is the name of the game. This is really a battle of endurance, honestly. So, cast that Rift. And the Threadlings did a good amount of damage, so as long as I can get those Threadlings off, I think we're okay. Oh, no, 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 no! After a little bit further traversing through the underbelly of the ship, we're going to get to this area here where we have to gain access to a restricted area. We do so through getting a key card in which we have to kill a yellow bar. This means that we are going to be using our super for the first time in our run. Now, I did have the idea where I wasn't initially going to do it, and then, I value my time. It's my run, get over it. But it does create Threadlings, so I think that it is a valid source. The problem with the Threadlings, and you can see it here, is they don't always want to track to where you go, and that became a problem a few different times in this run, which you'll see. But it kind of became a numbers game, basically. So if you consume your grenade, you get 5 Threadlings, and then casting your Rift will throw out another 3, so 8 Threadlings in total are going out. And I used that a lot to try to get as much damage as I could, to try to kill as many enemies as I could, and that did work out pretty well. So consuming my grenade became a very, very, very big part of this run as well. But then a thought hit me, a thought that I hadn't thought before. Why am I killing every single enemy when I could just run past them like that? in no way do I have to kill every single enemy that I come across. Obviously now I'm putting myself at more of a risk, but I'm not going flawless. There's no respawn restriction here, so we're just going to make our way past them and continue moving on. In the next area, we witness our first Tormentor. Luckily, this is a scripted event, so we don't actually have to kill the Tormentor. We just have to do enough damage to him and move on, which is fine. After enough dancing, bobbing, and weaving, we did such thing. Thankfully, the game puts these rally banner locations here for us so that we can just continuously get our abilities back. And the next area after that is going to be a ton of enemies, which we could just use our super on the Keymaster, pick up our Axe's key, and make our way through the door. Now, we're going to get to this area here, which, oh, God. Oh, how we have to destroy the different... Oh, no. Okay, so we have to throw grenades. The problem here is we have to throw grenades at each one and just slowly whittle them down. Luckily, these don't have a lot of health. So after that, we then move to the outside area. And then we move back inside this area to the next ship here. We're going to make our way into this area here, and we have to destroy a couple of radiators. Oh, God. Bungie really likes making you destroy things that aren't enemies. It's really annoying. Now, they probably didn't anticipate someone doing a challenge like this, but still, it's really annoying. But I did find out if you put yourself before the ledge, the Threadlings don't know where to go. The tracking is off. So they just kind of go all over the place. And if they explode while on the turbine, they do 1,000 damage, which is a huge time saver. If you see there, we actually did 1,000 damage per Threadling because they could not track back to my location because they didn't know how to get back to me, which is fantastic. So, destroyed the first radiator. Now we're going to be going to the second radiator and do the same thing there. Oh, my gosh. We probably knocked off about 20 to 30 minutes there. Make our way to the next area. We're going to drop all the way down here. I believe we're almost at the end of the very first level. Thank God as well. And then we're... No. Why? All right, we're just going to use our super on this door. I'm not sitting there throwing grenades at this for the next 30 minutes, so I'm just going to wait for my super, use it at the door, move on to the next area. All right, we are almost done with the very first level, I believe. Make our way around here, and then I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm fucking done with doors. I swear to God. The next area here, luckily the game gives us another rally banner. We have two main areas that we have to deal with. This first room here, which is like the hangar. We have a lot of enemies here, which is simple. Just destroy the Keymaster, pick up the key, open the door, and head into the final main area of the first level. We finally made it. All right, so I'm going to try to conserve my super here because I know that there is a Tormentor that is waiting for us after we clear out these enemies, so I'm going to be very patient here, slowly taking out the enemies. Finally, we take out the Keymaster. Now, here we go, the Tormentor fight. This is where I'm not sure if it's possible. We're going to use our super. You see there's a lot of different immunes that hit, but with that super, I think we actually may have cracked his shoulders. So now what we're going to be doing is just a game of cat and mouse. So we're going to be hopping up on top here and then back down. You can kind of trick the AI into being stupid if you just keep jumping up and then back down and then up and then back down. When he glows red, if he loses like sight of you or how to track you, or if you do enough damage to him like that, he will lose that ability or whatever you want to call it. He won't actually hunt you. And then so basically I just kited him around until we got our super again, hit him with it again, and okay. Oh. And we are done. Now we make our way over to the dropship. Bungie denies us what could have been a very beautiful, cool-looking cutscene as we drop down to Neomuna, but of course they blocked it off with a giant steel plate in our face. When we land, we get over to our first area where we can empower ourselves with Strand. In the normal game, this is where you would normally get Strand for the first time, but your abilities come back really quick, so you could just light everything up in the area. It's not very difficult. After that, we then get sick and exhausted. On to mission number 2. As far as I remember, this one wasn't too crazy just because it's more of an open world. There's not really any areas where you can't respawn. So I think you're just doing like the open world-esque stuff of Neomuna without the actual open world people. So we have to destroy 4 different yellow bars to pick up I think it's a corrupted key card? A key card of some kind. Yeah, corrupted key card. See, I know what I'm talking about. And that, it's just, you play it slow, let your abilities come back. Now, I hadn't fine-tuned my class at this point, so later on in the video it gets a lot better because I learned to put, like, Dynamo on to get my supers back faster and all sorts of other things. I think Thread of Generation helps me, too. whatever. Anyways, so once you pick up the 4 key cards, you go over to this jammer. I think it's kind of blocking it. And we have to survive 3 waves of enemies, which is no biggie. There's no sort of sickness that you can't respawn. And after we get the 3 different waves, then you come here, and we have to destroy these yellow containers. Okay. I guess we'll try a grenade. If not, maybe we'll just super. Well, it looks like we're just going to super. So once I sat here and waited for about 10 minutes to get my super back, we finally super, destroy the yellow barrels, move on to the next area. Okay, final area of mission number 2. See, this one's a lot shorter. We have a boss fight here. Our very first main boss fight. We have to do this all without the ability of our super because we're in a suppression field, which is one of the big reasons why I said that a super was okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to throw our grenade, try to clear some enemies out, and we're going to run back here and hide. The problem with this mission, oh boy, there's a lot of enemies, and I have to play it really safe, and there's a lot of times that I didn't. So what I decided to start doing was come over here to this yellow box and hide behind this yellow box here as enemies couldn't get me, except for when that happens. Okay. And then here we got the boss down quite a bit, actually, and these stupid phalanxes. All right, here we go. Just a little bit of health left. I think we'll be okay. So what you do is you get your final grenades in, and that is mission number 2. This one was very much so not bad, even though we had to deal with the suppression field. Whew. All right. Moving on to mission number 3. This is where the challenge is ruined. I'm going to just spoil it right now. If you want the honest truth, no. No, you cannot beat Lightfall with just Threadlings. And I'm going to show you why in a sec. We're going to still do the rest of the mission or the rest of the campaign, but this is where the run gets broken. So we clear out the enemies just before. We're trying to infiltrate Callus's ship here, and we just clear out the enemies. There's these nodes here. I have tried supering it. I tried throwing grenades at it. I tried using a rift on it. You cannot damage these. They are impervious to ability damage. You have to shoot them, and I don't want to shoot them. So, yes, you can't do anything with it. So, no, you cannot beat Lightfall with only Threadlings. But, say these nodes are not here, we'll still do the rest of it just to see if I could beat the rest of it. Now, I will say Downfall is probably the hardest mission for this challenge. And not probably, it was the hardest mission in this whole campaign, by far. Not because of this area, because of the final room, which we'll get to in a moment. But here you have to capture this plate. And once you capture this plate, you'll get an orb. And it's tough because I have to capture this plate with no abilities. So I don't know, just sit in a rift and then try to get out of here. A lot of enemies are going to spawn here, so we'll just try to super them and get rid of them. But there are a lot of enemies here, and there are a lot of strong enemies too. So we have to take that orb and we have to place it on the pedestal that is by where we just captured the plate. So run over here, place a rift down, and just deposit the that dark resonance. See, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Now, that spawns a tormentor. So we're going to do the same game plan. We have our super, so we're going to pop the shoulders with the super. Now we just kind of run around. We go up, we go down. We try to hit it with as many Threadlings as we can to weaken it, and then we're just waiting for our super to come back so that we can super it again and everybody can move on with their lives. So this took about another 20 to 25 minutes just for the Tormentor fight because I had to wait for my whole super to come back again. La-dee-da. Now this room, fuck this room. This room sucked so much ass, I can't tell you. I spent this mission, so insight, when I was recording, I recorded each mission separately, and then I'd stop the recording and I'd start the new mission, and that's how I would do it. This was the longest recording, and I think this one took a little bit over 3 hours to do. I got to this room only after like an hour. This room took forever, and I tried different methods, I tried different ways to do it, and every single time I just couldn't. So this is my first attempt, I believe. I actually did it right the first time. That yellow bar is a pain in the ass, and we have to super him. Unfortunately, I didn't even hit him with that super at all. But that's how we deal with this. Now, I'm trying to figure out where the hell to go, and I don't know where to go. because there's just so many enemies. Not to mention the axiom bolts that come from those taken phalanxes are the worst thing ever. No, we're fine. Everybody's fine. And then there's the gladiators, the stupid axiom bolts, and then there's other enemies and the stupid axiom bolts, and then there's like yellow bars, and then the stupid axiom bolts. Oh god, this was the most stress-inducing mission ever. There's just death after death after death. And then I was like, well, what if I just speed run it? What if I just speed run planting these orbs? Nope, still doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Nothing matters. Anyways, finally did it. You plant the 2 orbs, you kill all the enemies, and you move on with your life. Now we get to the sparrow part, and it's just hauling ass and getting to the end of the mission. But just know that that room took 4 fucking ever. My pain. So much pain. And I decided that, or I thought at least that this whole video might not be worth it. But I progressed, and we still stayed true to what we wanted to do. Okay, mission number 4, Breakneck. I think this mission also was a pain in the ass. It was not nearly as difficult as the last one, but this is also a more difficult mission. Ironically enough, the last 3 or 4 missions are some of the easiest in this area. Oh, hey, looky, a door. Oh, thankfully, we have our super, and there is a rally banner on the other side of it, so we're just going to do that. Place our rally banner. All right, here we go. So, this one spawns a bunch of Vex in an area with a Wyvern. That wasn't too bad. It was just a lot of running around, just like I had did prior, and then using your abilities to clear enemies out. The only problem is there's another freaking door here. So, yes, we have to wait to get our super back again for this damn door. Or, no, never mind. I forget what I did. We broke it with Threadlings. Those were very happy teabags there. All right, moving on to the next area. Another Wyvern. It's just, again, it's more of the same thing. You guys get it. Kill the Wyvern. Moving on to the next area. Now, I'm going to say this again, just in case you haven't heard me. Why does Bungie like putting doors blocking every single damn area that you come across? Who are those for? Why are those relevant? Luckily, with this one, I can get my Threadlings on the other side of the door so they blow up and I do that 1,000 damage again, which saved me another 10 minutes or so. But what? Who? Hot? Okay. Moving on to this area. This is like the boss fight area now of the mission. So there's these enemies, and I kind of said out the rip that I couldn't use any finishers. I thought that was going to make it too easy. So I literally have to wait for my abilities to come back so I can destroy each one of these enemies so that we can then fight the boss for the area with no rally banner, no nothing, which is annoying. Then we have the cube up top there that I can't damage. Well, I can damage it with grenades, but we'd be here all day. So I'm going to use my super. Then it spawns that thing. You can't use abilities when you're detained. So what does that mean for your poor little warlock here? That means that I'm dead. I'm just dead. I cannot get caught by this thing at all. Because if I do, then I'm dead. Hey, at least the enemies aren't shooting me when I'm here because I'm in a nice position. So you can technically survive this. It will release you after a little bit of time, but you're going to be so weak. Most of the time it kills you, but if you happen to have it let you go without you dying, like so, doesn't matter, you still die anyways. Now, luckily, this area, you can respawn in this area, so just after enough time, take care of the Wyvern and move on to the next area. But just know I'm upset. And I swear to God, if I see another vent, nope. Okay, good. We're no stupid, unnecessary blockage for Bungie to throw my way. Now let's move on. Ah! God! All right, main boss fight time. Luckily, they put a rally banner here. Destroy. I have to use the super to destroy that thing. I have to because I have to be prepared for the thing that's going to try to come and detain me. So I have to super it, hurry up, and run away, which is fine. And we'll just slowly take our time here. The problem is with Hydras is they have a shield. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have a shield. So a lot of the stuff that we attack them with is going to be immune. And it's kind of a pain in the ass here. So after that, we're going to get a Wyvern to spawn. And this was probably the most heartbreaking death I've had in the entire video because he wasn't even tough to kill. Anyways, moving on to the next area. Every time that the Wyvern moves on to the next area or I destroy one of those cubes, I have to immediately beeline it somewhere and hide because one of those, whatever you want to call them, enemies will detain me. And so I had to just immediately turn and run or hide, which was just way too much stress. I can't believe we actually got through this video in one piece because the amount of stress, like look at this, I'm just running in a circle with the amount of enemies waiting for my abilities to come back. That's all I could do. I just have to wait and run. And the fact that I didn't get annihilated is just beyond me. Now, luckily, when I pick up orbs, I do get woven mail, so anytime I create those, I do have 10 seconds at least of bliss. Oh, God, another... Just going to wait for our super. Just going to wait for our super. All right, boss fight time, final room. Oh, detain. Oh, God. Now, this was the problem, is I could get to this final room, but if I get detained, there's nothing that I can do. I'm just screwed. I'm boned. Okay. Boss fight time yet again. So, just got to be very, very careful. Don't get detained. Oh, my God. I'm just, it's awful. It's awful. Why? So many mechanics. Here comes the detained person. Nope, we're good. We're good. See how scared I got? Now, we did get detained here, but it's okay because we've already defeated the enemy. So now we have to destroy these little cubes, and a lot of times when I had to wait for my abilities to come back, I would just throw up some videos on YouTube and let my super come back and everything. Now, luckily, I can get my Threadlings stuck behind some of them to do more damage to them, but for the most part, we just had to wait for our super to come back. Next room, we're going to deal with another... yellow bar, and then, of course, a goddamn vent. Wait for our super to come back, use another super on the vent. But hey, Bungie, that's my question to you. I want this to be a public Q&A to Bungie. Why do you guys like vents so much? Why do you like doors? Anyways, move to the next area. We're going to be empowered with Strand now, but I don't think that lasts very long. Wish it did, because that would help quite a bit in this mission. Oh, look, a vent. Oh, look. Luckily, we have our super. Why? Why all the vents? I don't understand. Okay, now this area wasn't too bad like you think it would be. It is kind of a pain in the ass, but there's two tormentors in this area, also with a bunch of enemies here. So we're just basically going to super the tormentors to get them. I think that gets them down to about half health. We're going to just keep making our way around, keep moving. You just got to be very careful not to get grabbed. The grabbing sucks. The grabbing sucks. Now, if you play the elevation game on them, you won't get caught, but after enough time, don't get grabbed. Yeah, woven mail ain't going to save you on this one, buddy. Okay, so after enough time, you just play the elevation game. You just... I'm going to lose my mind. Play the elevation game, keep jumping, going up, going down, throwing, just keep staying on the move, and eventually you'll clear the area. Now, of course, after that fight, they're like, let's throw a vent in there. You destroy the vent, you escape the ship, basically. You destroy what you got to destroy, and nope, we're not on that mission anymore. But you destroy what you need to destroy in this area, and you're on to the next mission. The ship was the last mission. I'm losing my freaking mind. On to mission number 5, On the Verge. Is this the one, the training exercise one? Yeah, no, this mission was extremely easy because we were basically strand empowered the entire time. Yeah, so you just go to the area, you find the source of strand, and then you just throw a crap ton of grenades. And then in the next area, you have to pick up these orbs. I think it's 3 of them, and you have to plant them in this here so you can move to the next area. Super, super easy because when you're strand powered, you get your grenades back or your super back. You just get something back really, really fast. So this was a constant stream of grenades, constant stream of abilities. I think my rift didn't come back quick. But even then, I had... is it firepower? I had firepower on, so I was getting a ton of orbs from just all my grenade kills, which made getting my super back a little bit easier. It was just a much nicer, needed stress relief mission. If that's what I could say. Anyways, on to the next area. We are making our way, killing enemies. Now, here's the problem with this part. We have to use a tangle to destroy that. Now, I outlawed tangles in my run, but this is the second instance of no, you cannot beat the Lightfall campaign with only Threadlings because Threadlings do not do any damage to those. So I had to, unfortunately, use my melee to get a tangle to destroy the crystal. And that's going to be the same for this final boss mission as well. There are going to be those crystals that spawn, and we have to get a tangle for that. So here you can see me getting a tangle, turning around. There is another crystal there. And we have to use that crystal to drop the shield of the Minotaur. It's unfortunate. I wish it didn't have to be that way, but you got to talk to Bungie. They're the ones that set this up. They made it to where you can't do fun stuff. They don't want fun. Anyways, mission number 6, no time left. This is our final really tough mission. There's only really 3 bad missions. So the problem with this one is we're going to be suppressed for most of this mission. So that means no supers. Now there are some strand-powered locations, which is cool. But this is the tank mission, if you're familiar with the Lightfall campaign. And I think, honestly, the real challenge in itself is probably just playing the Lightfall campaign, if I'm going to be honest. But this is the tank mission. I can't use tanks. This is a Threadlings only playthrough. Have y'all been listening? It's only Threadlings. So we cannot use a tank. So we have to try to get through this whole mission without using a tank, which is fine. But number 3 scenario of why you cannot complete this only using Threadlings. You cannot destroy the door. The door is immune. It only likes tank bullets. So you had to jump. I had to jump at the tank, and I did unfortunately have to shoot the tank. Now, I still can use the tank if I want to try to stay alive, but I can't shoot with it. So, but here I did have to. I hung back, trying to just throw Threadlings. The interceptors were really a pain in the ass, but I did find out something pretty cool. If I go sit by the actual tank, the fuel cell here, those interceptors will destroy it for me, which is pretty cool. So I don't have to sit there and throw any Threadlings at it or a super or anything like that. I just got to go stand by it, and they'll destroy it for me. And there's no sort of darkness death thing, so I could just keep respawning and head over to this last one. I think this one kills me, which it does. But hey, that's all 4 fuel cells destroyed. You know, and I didn't even have to lift a finger. So now we just move on to the next area. But the problem is we still don't get to drive a tank. Luckily, the tank is not a requirement because I would hate to do this entire mission with the tank. I would be under protest for that. I will hop into it to shoot the door, but oh my god. Did you see that yellow? That was crazy. I would be under protest if I had to use the tank for the entire mission since this is a Threadling only run. For this, I had an idea, and this was working a little bit until like I would eventually get shot by something stupid. But I would come back over here and hide behind these boxes here and just chill here until I can get my ability energy back to deal damage to the actual tank that's sitting on the other side. You can see the tank there, so I just kept jumping over and shooting it. And then you realize that, oh, crap, there's another door. So we had to go all the way back, get a tank, drive it up so that we could shoot the door again. Now, if you are familiar with the Lightfall campaign, you know we're getting to one portion of this mission that could potentially be super annoying, and that's this one. We're in a suppression field, and we're fighting a Tormentor. I've been using supers to break its shoulders. That was a lot of immunes that just hit. So we have to use our Threadlings, and just hope that the tracking hits him in the shoulder. Now, you can see I got a little bit of his health down. I did this fight running around throwing Threadlings for 40 minutes. 40, I think it might have been even 45 to 50 minutes of just doing this over and over and over, hoping that the Threadlings would hit his shoulders, which eventually it did, but at what cost? Oh, God. And then after that, it was smooth sailing. We just kept running around, going back and forth, and hitting it. Basically, we would just consume our grenade and hit him with 8 tangles, and you see how much damage that did there. But, God, to get... I was starting to think it wasn't possible with the amount of times that I got immune. It was awful. The nice part about killing that Tormentor is we are rewarded with a nice strand empowerment. So we could just destroy the suppression fields. We have to hop into a tank, destroy another door, and then get to this area. This area kind of sucks because, well... yeah, lots of interceptors and tanks. But eventually we take care of that area and we move on to the final boss fight of mission number 6. And again, I'm going to tell you right off the beginning of this. This is our last really difficult mission. And then after that, it gets a little bit easier. So I learned a good trick for this one through trial and error. And I think this mission actually took me like 2 to 3 hours too. I think this was another long one. But I can come back over here and hide behind this like cart and these boxes. And the war beast, can't touch this. And yeah, I could just chill behind there, let my abilities come back, get my super again, go back over here and hide. After enough time, he will go immune and then the suppression field will go up. And I have to make my way down here to get Strand empowered. Which is kind of a weird thing because they said that it blocks out all light abilities, but like stasis and strand are still a thing. So it's like, I should theoretically be able to get my supers and everything without the suppression fields because it says it doesn't affect Strand. That's why I'm going to get the Strand empowered so that I can actually destroy the suppression fields because it doesn't affect Strand. Kind of seems like a plot hole to me, but whatever. I digress. Anyways, when we get down to this area, we get here where we have to go and destroy some yellow bars. I'm just trying to make my way super slow so that I don't accidentally die, destroy these scions, and we can become Strand empowered. The nice part about this Strand empowered is we get our supers back really fast, so we can start chucking some supers at everything and anything in our path. Now, up top, I wanted to make sure to be very, very careful that I don't accidentally destroy the suppression field, though I accidentally did it here. When you destroy the suppression field, your super stops going up super fast, which can make it very difficult. So I did die there. So, wait, yep. So I accidentally destroyed the suppression field, and I die here because the tanks were still up, and the tanks destroyed me. So I cleared out all the enemies before destroying the suppression field, and then I went back over here instead to hide because the tanks don't really come back here, and I waited for my super to get up before destroying the tank. Then, the boss, you can also cheese. Just play a little peekaboo with him. If you do a little peekaboo, he will be very confused. He doesn't understand why you're playing games with him when he's trying to kill you, and you're just like, yo, I'm a happy-go-lucky guardian. I'm just here, you know, wanting to make friends, and he's like, I'm trying to shoot you. What are you doing? And you're like, choose peace, not war, and he doesn't care at all. Anyway, so after you do enough damage to him, a tank will spawn right on top of you, and that will be the most terrifying thing you see all day, which you will haul ass saying out loud and screaming, please God, no, tank, don't shoot me, please, no, please, no, please, no. What you're trying to do is make your way up to that Strand empowerment there, hop up to the very top, getting stunned by everything and anything, and just doing that and destroying everything in your path, and by golly, we have finished mission number 6. Moving on. Mission number 7. I would like to formally submit this whole pre-edited recording to the Guinness Book of World Records. This may have been the fastest anyone has ever done this mission with just Strand only, or Threadlings only. Now, the problem with this mission, really the only problem, is there's a code, a sequence that I have to put into this door. But, you know, Threadlings kind of have a mind of their own. They go over wherever they will damn please. So you have to get lucky to get the correct combination. Now, you can influence that in a little bit of way, like there, you can throw it away from where you need to go, but then you have the extra ones that go like that and almost destroy the wrong one. Or, for example, that, because you're an idiot and you didn't use your rift, instead you use your grenade, it goes where it ever wants, and then it destroys the wrong harpy, so you have to do it all over again. So that was the only annoying part, really, of this mission. See, here I go there, and I use my, well, actually, never mind, the other Threadling got him. Whatever, doesn't matter. But it still was really annoying to put in these combinations. But I still did this mission, I think, in only like 20 minutes. And that's with only using Threadlings, which is pretty impressive in my opinion. I don't mean to pat myself on the back or anything, but I think that's pretty impressive if you ask me. Only using Threadlings, and we did it in only about 20 minutes. Kind of dope, you know? Anyways, we're making our way out to the next area. So I think there's 3 code sequences that we have to put in total. Here is another door. We don't have any supers at this point. And no, stop looking around, Dylan, in the past. There's no Strand empowerment to help you either. So here, we're going to use our super because I don't feel like breaking. I just got so done with doors at this point. I don't want to see another door for as long as I live. And guess what? They're fucking everywhere. Oh, anyway, so there's going to be 2 hydras that spawn in this area. And you just got to, you know, I just... same old, ran around, waited for them to get tired of looking for me, got my super back, and then I killed them. Now, we have another code to put in. This is a long one. Eventually, we'll get it down, and we will head to the time trial area. Now, we are empowered this entire time, and if you haven't been listening to the beginning of this video, when you're empowered, everything gets way more easy. So, just time trial. I don't even know how quickly we did it. We obviously didn't do it like in like a minute, but we did it probably like 3 or 4 minutes. And, yeah, just keep throwing grenades. Because we can create those orbs and we have our woven mail for picking up an orb. I forget what fragment that is. Don't sue me. It's very hard to kill us, too. So, all right. It has all led to this. Mission number 8, Desperate Measures. We must destroy some AA guns. We are finally making our way to Callus to beat that ass. We're Strand empowered in the very, very beginning. So we're just going to hurl as many grenades as we get. Use our supers as much as we want. I mean, we're not getting our super back, but great in our face. But we get our grenades back that create orbs. I hope y'all have been listening, and I hope y'all are understanding what's going on now at this point. Threshers are a little annoying, but we can just hide behind here because we're awesome like that. And we destroyed the first A gun. Now, in the next area, we're going to be seeing another Tormentor. You know, super it. We're empowered. It ain't no thing. I think this might be the first empowered fight that we had against the Tormentor, and it was actually really, really simple. Again, I'm going to say it again. If you're empowered, this game just gets really easy. Because I think when you initially play through the Lightfall campaign, you have your grapple, which grapple's still good, but it's nothing compared to, like, just throwing a bunch of grenades. So, and again, I'll make the joke again. The real challenge of this video was to just play through the Lightfall campaign again. Now, it would be interesting to see how good would this sort of challenge do in a video like the Witch Queen campaign, because there are no strand empowerments to make it that much easier, but, you know, that's a road that we'll get to another day. Well, that's for another day. Now we're doing Lightfall. So yeah, so we're just going to keep bobbing and weaving, dancing. This tank ain't got nothing on us. We're so confident and we're so cocky at this point that we just know nothing is going to stop us. We just know nothing is going to take us down. So we could just keep bobbing and weaving, throwing Threadlings everywhere, and it'll track to someone and they'll kill someone. And, you know, the tanks are no different. Eventually some Tormentors will spawn, and we're just going to do some mobile jujitsu, dodging them and getting out of the way. We are the Dodge King. If you get that joke, you are an OG member of my community. And yeah, that's all it is to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Eventually we destroy that Tormentor, and then we talk to Callus for a minute, catch up with him, see how he's been, and we make our way inside the facility so that we can find stupid old Callus. Oh, hey, look, one more fuck you on the way out. Thank you, Bungie. I definitely appreciate that. Here, have a super. Oh, God. Luckily, oh, my God. Here's another one. They're really trying to piss you off at this point. They really are. And here we are at the final part of the game. I'm surprised it's not just a room full of doors as the final boss. I'm surprised it's actually Callus. Okay, so this was kind of annoying. Not super tough, but kind of annoying. Because here's my very first try of it. And you're going to see in a second here why it's really annoying. I was hanging onto the super because I know that there's two Tormentors that spawn, so I was going to use the super for them. And, boop. Yeah. There's a lot of things in this mission that can boop you. And I don't really, I don't take too kindly to being booped, you know? I like to be wined and dined before I'm booped. And so Tormentors will chase you. Callus is shooting at you. A bunch of enemies are spawning, and then, oh, hey, look, boop. And you're suppressed. You know? Oh, the booping. And then here we go again. Look at that. And throw some more Threadlings over. And, oh, hey, look. Tormentor came out to meet me, and look at boop. I'm tired of the booping. That was the annoying part. It wasn't really more so doing damage, it was just the booping. Like, look how low Callus is here to his final form. You know, and I have my super. I could just hit him with my super, but I was trying to be very conservative because I just, you know, when I got him to his second form, I wanted to just really quickly just try to mop the floor with him and just be done with this challenge. Look how low. And, oh, hey, look, boop. Okay. Anyways, lots of booping. You get the idea, right? There was a lot of booping. So, moving on, here's what we learned. So, consume grenade. Throw that down. Throw another grenade. Use the super. Boom. We got him all the way down there already. Wait for some enemies to spawn here. And we're going to just keep throwing those Threadling grenades, trying to get our super back, pick up things to get us woven mail, and steer very clear of anything that can boop. Stay away from the boop. The boop is bad. And we're just going to sit up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to rotate clockwise onto these platforms, keep rotating, and just keep throwing as many Threadling grenades as we can. Now, I do not cut this final fight. I wanted to keep this entire thing in the video. So we're gonna jump down here to try to get some orbs real quick to get woven mail. And there I almost screwed it up again. I don't even think I got booped. I think I just messed my jump up. Luckily, we are a ninja with our fast reflexes, and we were able to not die there. If you keep moving, he doesn't, like, explode the platforms. Like, I know he does this move or this ability where, like, the platform will just ignite and you'll take damage. If you just keep moving, he doesn't do that. You have to be sitting at the same platform in cover for a while for him to do that, I believe. Or maybe he just has to hit you with enough of those of his weapon. I don't know. You know, I just play the game. But I did want to get close to enemies, and use my Rift because I have Dynamo turned on, so I'm trying to get my super as quickly back as possible. So that you're going to see a lot of me getting in enemies' faces, putting a Rift down, so that I can try to hurry up and get my super. Kind of been my favorite thing to do lately is just make builds, and I feel like I've made some pretty good ones about getting supers back pretty quick. So I feel like, you know, that's what I did. Is I sat there, I spec'd, I was like, okay, how can I get my super back as quickly as possible so that we could just light Callus up with supers. And yeah, I think we did a pretty solid job. So here we're just running down because we're trying to pick up some orbs, and you're going to see me run over to, I think it's the Scion, and I put my Rift down. Look at, watch the super energy go up as soon as I do that. Wham! It's a lot of super energy. Now we just bounce. We get out. Luckily, the Woven Mail is there to, like, when you have Woven Mail, you're pretty resistant to damage, which is very, very helpful. And yeah, it's just throwing a lot of Threadlings. I mean, I don't know what you expected. That's what the video is. And eventually, now, the problem is because I didn't take care of the Tormentors, we also have to dodge the Tormentors as well as Callus when he goes all full Gladiator mode on us. Now, I have not, this is my first time getting him to Gladiator mode, to that second mode. I hadn't done that before. This was my first attempt of getting him to that final stand, and I was terrified because I hadn't been doing this mission for terribly long, but, like, my first time getting him into that final form, obviously I didn't want to fail. So you've got to be on that center platform with them. If you're not, then you'll get teleported. Yeah. So here we go. First attempt with Callus in his Gladiator form, now known as Gallus. So we're gonna pop a super. That's why we have it. Throw some Threadlings down. Oh, hey, look, orbs. Turn around, and the problem was Callus was pretty honest the whole time. That was very risky right there. Very risky. Lots of booping that happened there, and luckily we didn't die. Very easily could have. So I decided to start throwing grenades in front of me to see if they would track back towards him, and it didn't seem like I was having a lot of luck with that. I don't know what they were going for, and I can't just sit here and do this all day. I'm not Captain America, because eventually I'm going to get boofed off. I know I'm going to screw this up, so I have to, like, figure out a way to make sure I'm damaging him, and I had to turn around and look at him. That was the only way I could do it, but even then it didn't always work. Like, I'm watching his health now. I didn't actually do damage to him. It was really annoying. And, oh, I didn't even realize how close that was. Wow. So I saw I got my Rift back, so now we need to figure out how can I get more super energy. So I'm trying to find an opening, but it's really tough when you're getting chased. That I didn't get any super energy for. I could have easily died there, and I luckily didn't. Oh, man. Just this. If you guys want to have fun, I mean, this challenge was fun. If you guys want to have fun and agonizing fun, pain, if you guys are into pain, it's a different way to play the game. That's all. And I did have fun doing this. It was about 17 to 18 hours. Again, if you guys appreciate the effort, appreciate all the work that went into this video, you should leave a like and subscribe. We're really pushing for that 1,000 subs. At 1,000 subs, we're going to do a giveaway. I put a vote out to the community, and it looks like you guys want a dungeon speed race in Destiny. Basically, it would be quickest to do a dungeon would win the win the prize, which is going to be a $100 gift card this time. So, but yeah, keep moving, keep throwing Threadlings. It was basically just tall ass, keep them away from me. I get them off, get them off, get them off, sort of thing. It's terrifying seeing those Tormentors go up in the air too, because that could easily ruin this and make me have to start over. So, after enough time, if you can see, we're kind of slowly getting our super back. Man, I did not realize how long this took me to do. Okay, we're almost at the end. Yeah, so we do have our Rift back again. So all I have to do is get close. So what I'm thinking right now is I'm like, if I just get close to an enemy and I use my Rift, I can have my super. I can end this right now. So enemy's there. Boom. Very, very close. Let me pick up that orb. It wasn't as much energy as I was hoping, so it was a little gutsy. But we are right there. Basically, let me just go ahead and get another orb of power. And we have our super. Now we can go Hadouken. Screw you, Callus. And that is it. We have done it. We have completed Lightfall with Threadlings only, kind of. We've only ever killed an enemy with Threadlings. Obviously, we've met some obstacles along the way. But that is it. That is the entire Lightfall campaign in all of its subpar glory with just Threadlings. If you guys enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like, leave a subscribe for all the hard work, and, you know, maybe share this with a friend or two. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching this video. That is it. This was a lot of work to put together, and this was probably the most time and effort that I've put into a video, so hopefully that pays off, and I hope you guys enjoyed the content that I brought y'all. Leave a like, subscribe. I love y'all, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one.